People have used a lot of words to describe me. Passionate. Hungry. Obsessed. They've been a part of me since the beginning. But they don't define me. Here I come, world. Here I come. And even though all those words led up to one more that has a nicer ring to it.
Let it go, Chow! Let it go, Chow! Let it go, Chow!
Even that doesn't define me. The way I see it, life is a test. You're gonna fall. Yeah! Are you gonna get up? That's what defines you, not words. What I'm gonna do, quit? Quit?
Hello?
That's not even in my vocabulary. And the only thing that matters is preparing for the next test. In the off season, I come here every morning at 5:30 a.m. sharp. This beach, this spot, to exercise my mind, my body, and my soul. Every major decision I've made has been made with the sound of the waves crashing in my ears. And I was standing right here when I made the one that changed my life. I was sitting and I was just looking out the ocean. I had talked to Chauncey and he was like, dude, this is it. This is your opportunity. You've been talking about you want to win. This is it right here. And I was like, nah, why can't they? And I was still fighting it.
Kevin Garnett was at a crossroads. He had been a Minnesota Timberwolf for 12 years. It was the only team he'd ever known, and he seemed destined to play there for good. But things had changed, and he was thinking about leaving.
I was sitting right at the beach, and I was just like, I'm finna do this. I'm finna do this. Man, I'm about to leave Minnesota. And that was probably one of the hardest things up until this date that I've had to do.
Some big news, and we begin with a big ticket. That's right, Kevin Garnett officially a member of the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, this was...
In Boston, KG would join perennial All-Stars Ray Allen and Paul Pierce, forming what would come to be known as the Big Three.
When I seen him, I was like, is this surreal or what? And Ray was like, man, this is surreal.
Smile.
All right, now you need a serious one, then the smile. There we go.
He was excited to have a chance to win, and I think that Ray and Paul gave him a renewed hope, and he seemed like a little kid.
I reached out to Paul's 4 phones, and he left a message on all 4. Luckily, Ray had 2 phones, and he immediately called me back. And
I didn't recognize the area code,
you know. I'm a strong believer in try to put the past to the side and focus on what you have and then embrace it and go forward. And that's what I did. I wouldn't go that far to say that we're the team to beat because we still have things to prove. We still have to work on chemistry and bonding. I can say that we're going to be a force to reckon with. I will say that.
To see more of KG's incredible journey, check out Kevin Garnett, KG. Buy it today at NBAstore.com.
First footprints in the sand. I need to have this whole beach to myself every morning. They say that no matter how hard you work, there's always someone, somewhere, working harder than you. Guess what? I'm that someone. You know, I don't remember the first time when this motivation revealed itself. But I also don't remember when it didn't.
Kevin Garnett's journey began in the small town of Malden, South Carolina.
Growing up in South Carolina was very humble, very simple. A lot of respect, a lot of, you know, you was raised with manners. When I think about South Carolina, everything was pure. Everything meant something to you.
Kevin lived with his two sisters and his mother, Shirley, who would set a strong example for her children from the very beginning.
My mom's not worked in hotels, and if anybody knows what the graveyard shift is, it's the third shift, and that was 12 hours, 6 to 6, and watching her come in every day doing that, but at the same time raising 3 kids was more than inspiration. My mother raised us with a mindset of no one's going to give you anything, and if you want anything, you have to go out and work hard for it.
Drawing upon the lessons he had learned from his mom, Kevin would apply them to basketball and to his lofty aspirations.
The young dreams of Kevin Garnett, I want to be Magic Johnson to the point where I can see it, you know, where I could open my eyes one day and be like, man, I want to be like Magic.
He was a tall kid for 12, and he was real skinny, he didn't have any size. Guys used to laugh at him, you know, once again, he was 6'6", you barely dunk. You know, he was growing too fast. His body was like leaving his ability.
I could always take my ball and I could always just go and disappear, be whoever it was I wanted to be. I was able to just go and just drink, and that's the first time I began to really take basketball serious.
8 o'clock in the morning, he had a basketball in his hand coming down the street. It was like early in the morning. Most people sleep.
Expect you to get up with him.
Yeah, expect you to get up with him, go to the park. He pretty much slept with the basketball.
I remember I got home one evening and I heard a basketball bouncing at midnight. And there was this tall, lanky kid outside dribbling the basketball in the dark. You know, and it was amazing to see this kid out there doing it because he couldn't see the basketball.
He was at Springfield Park all the time, whether it's a bunch of folks or by himself, just shooting. And he was very serious. He had this saying is, between the line, it's about the business. So when the guys came around, they knew they was going to play and they were going to be serious at playing.
But while basketball had become an all-consuming passion for Kevin, his mom had her own ideas on how he should be spending his time.
My mom was all about education first. She wanted me to become something more than a basketball player. Finally, and my mom said, no, you're not playing no ball.
She didn't want him playing any kind of sports or anything like that, and he kind of did it without letting her know.
I enjoyed it so much that, you know what? Well, nothing gonna stop me. Nothing. I know what the consequences are if I get caught, whether I got an ass whooping for it or whatever. And I used to put my bag outside on the other side of the bushes, because you used to have to go through some bushes to my yard. Okay, Mom, hey, I'm gone. And zoom out the front, go around the back, grab my bag, and I have my uniform and my shoes in there. And I used to take the little shortcut up and go to the high school.
But he wasn't quite as clever as his mother.
He had a game, and one of her customers told her that, are you going to the game tonight? Kevin's playing. And she goes, Kevin's playing where? And so she said, the basketball game, the high school game. And she was like, Kevin doesn't play basketball. And she was like, Shirley, your son plays basketball. He's the best player on the team. So she leaves, go to the game, and he's playing, and some kind of way he caught eye of her and she caught eye of him, and they kind of gave each other the look. So she found the seat thinking, you know, oh, this is going to be short and sweet. I can't wait to get him home. And I guess from seeing him play, the reaction of the fans and, you know, just the crowd, she was, you know, was amazed.
For her to see what he was doing at that time and what it meant to him, it was like good for the family. It was like she got brighter, everything got brighter, even the neighborhood got brighter. You know, you could see something special happening.
And it's almost overnight, the switch came on instant. It was almost like a star was born.
He was a leader. He just made everybody play to a higher level than what they were already, just like riding a star, because he never quit. I've never seen anybody that put that much into the game of basketball.
With his mother now firmly behind him, there was nothing to hold Kevin back. But his skills had outgrown the courts of South Carolina, and his mom would move the family to Chicago, where a country kid would get a heavy dose of urban reality.
You're talking about a 16, 17-year-old kid having to pick up from South Carolina, from this small community, and moving to Chicago, you know, plus being around your friends all your life, and then all of a sudden not knowing anybody was tough, you know, mentally tough.
Chicago was like being in hell. You know, so much you gotta know, so much you gotta be, you know, you gotta be on your P's and Q's about the inner city, man. The city is fast, and coming from, you know, slow South Carolina, you know, protected, having a foundation. You come from that and then come up to starting over from the bottom.
And the tough city streets brought out the toughness in Kevin.
Passion, the domination to bite his head off and don't look back. All that came into play when I got to Chicago. It gave me attitude. That's when I got the growl and the vengeance. Everything about standing up for your own, not backing down, all that came into play when I got to Chicago. Once I got through that year, I knew that I could survive anything. I think everybody that makes them who they are in the present, and that's what that was for me.
By 1995, every college in the country wanted KG, but he had other plans.
He was in Chicago and he called me. It was after school. And he was like, you know, I think I'm going to write a letter to David Stern and put my name in the hat. And that was it.
I'd like to thank all you for attending my press conference today. As you all know, I declared myself eligible for the NBA draft. I made my decision to declare myself for the draft to keep all my options open.
There was a lot of people that doubted him because it hadn't been done in such a long time. People thought, oh, you know, you're making this kid, you know, bigger than he really is.
When you take on responsibility at an early age, you understand what it takes to get to the next step. If I put everything I have into this and do this the right way, it's got to work out in some ways, some shape, form, or fashion. It's got to work out. So I was like, it's worth a try.
We just the fifth pick in the 1995 draft. 12 years later, the Boston Celtics select Kevin Garnett.
In Boston, Kevin joined Paul Pierce and Ray Allen on a team that had won just 24 games the